It's pretty wonderful that we're here together, and we've had such wonderful experience during this semester. It really is hard to believe that here we are at the end. And seeing you every Tuesday has been really quite wonderful. Before I make my announcements, I want to thank Phil Smith for everything he has done to create this absolutely wonderful array of music that we've listened to every single week as we come into our session. It's been really wonderful to have this. And I want to remind now everyone that it's time to fill out the survey if you haven't done it. So please do that. It's really very, very, very important. And the other thing that I want to remind you of is to save the date for our annual meeting. It'll be very interesting. You'll hear the results of the survey, and we'll be talking about our ideas about going forward. And of course, there's always a lot of fun at the end of it. So save the date, and if you haven't done the survey, please do it. The other thing that I'm really delighted to announce this evening is that this year we've continued the award of the NCS Betty Gillette Scholarship to a high school senior showing exceptional talent in music and planning to major in music at the college level. And I want to thank the scholarship committee members, Steve Cohen, Susan Noyes, Deborah Szabo, and Carol Juncker, and the committee chair, Mary Ellen Moreland, for all of their efforts in reviewing applications and making the final selection of this year's outstanding winner, Finn Mattingly, who is a singer at Linfield High School. Now, Finn has studied composition at the New England Conservatory Preparatory School since 2019. He's a member of the New York Youth Symphony Composition Program, where as part of their outreach program, Finn actually tutors composition students in the Youth Orchestra of St. Luke's. Finn, amazingly, has already composed an array of both choral and instrumental pieces, and he plans to attend the Royal College of Music in London to pursue a Bachelor of Music with honors in composition. And I want to quote something Finn wrote in his application. "Now more than ever is the most important time to study composition. Musicians are essential. When we emerge from the pandemic, it will be necessary to reknit communities that were damaged and learn to celebrate again." So we are so proud to introduce you to Finn Mattingly.
Thank you to all of Newburyport Choral Society and the Scholarship Committee. I'm very honored and grateful to have received this, and I'm very excited to pursue music at the collegiate level and eventually as a career. And this award is very helpful in planning that. So thank you to all of Newburyport Choral Society.
Thank you, Finn. I'm Ryan Turner, the music director. Congratulations, and I really enjoyed reading your materials and learning about you, and I hope you will keep us posted on how things go at the Royal College of Music, and please send us along some pieces as you work on them, and maybe we could read through a few of them at some point. So best wishes to you and congratulations. Mary Ann, do you have other announcements? No, she doesn't. Okay, great. Well, welcome everybody to our final, God willing, final Zoom rehearsal ever, maybe. Who knows? Let's plan for today is we're going to warm up, do some physical, vocal warm up, spot check a few little places, and then I want us to just sing as much as we can. And much of what I want to do is be able for you all to realize how much you have indeed worked on over the course of this year. And so let's dive in. Everybody stand up, step away from your computer screen. Raise your computer so that you can see. And Finn, you are more than welcome to join us, or we could say, bid you farewell, but we wish you the best. All right, everybody breathe in and out. And in and out. One more, breathe in. Feel that rib cage expansion and out. Arms up to here, side to side. And keep breathing throughout all of this, always breathing. Now, I don't know, I expect that all of you will, from here on out, every Tuesday night at 7:30, do this warm up and think of me. Shoulders are back. Great. Everybody say, look into the screen and say, hi, really big face. Hi, great. And then stick your tongue out. Blah. And go, great. Everybody trot in place. Wake yourself up. Trot, trot, trot. Shake your arms out as you trot. Good. Get your breath moving. Shadow box. Yeah, there you go. Nice to see you guys moving that way. Keep shadow boxing. Great. And shake it out again. Good. Say tita-ta. Tita-ta. 3 of them. Tita-ta, tita-ta, tita-ta. 7. Tita-ta, 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 tita-ta. Poopopa. Poopopa. 3. Poopopa, poopopa, poopopa. 7. Poopopa, 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 poopopa. Kikika and kikika. 3. Kikika, kikika, kikika. 7. And kikika, 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 kikika. Blee blah blah. Blee blah blah. Use those lips. Blee blah blah, blee blah blah, blee blah blah. Breathe. Blee blah blah, 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 blee blah blah. Something like that. Not easy to do, is it? Okay. And breathe again. And down. As you come down, keep your rib cage expanded as it is. Place your hands here on your rib cage. One is up here, and the other one up on your nose. You're going to breathe in through your nose and let it out on us, and feel the expansion. Again, the same thing. Breathe in. And go for as long as you can. You should be able to go on for days and days. Great, that's good enough. Good. Everybody, I want you to, you're going to put if you're right-handed, I want you to put your left foot slightly in front of your right foot, just a little bit. Show the feet are shoulder width apart, and I want you to bend your knees just the slightest bit, not a lot. And you're going to just sort of bounce and move your hips back and forth. Find where the center of your hips are, your core, and then make sure your hips are underneath you. Place your hands back here, and you're going to breathe in and go. Keep going. Expand. Good. Stay standing. I'm going to sit, and we're going to start with a lip trill. Oh, I could. There we are. Can you hear me? Good. Now I want you to practice this though, with one hand on a nostril and breathing in through your nose, and the other hand on your rib cage so you're aware of the expansion. Ready and. Through the nose, expand. Move as you sing, bend your knees. as you can and as low. Good. And go one more time. Great. So we're going to do a hum. Remember a hum, just by way of reminder, a hum is an ah vowel with closed lips. So you want to think the space of an ah as though you're yawning. The tip of your tongue is on the back of your bottom teeth. There's space like you're singing an ah, and you're going to do ah, breathe. Ah. We're going to go down. Keep going. I can't sing this low. One thing to remember as you go from the hum to the ah, you don't need as much breath pressure going from the hum to the ah. So make sure that we don't suddenly get a burst of breath pressure. You almost should back off the breath pressure a little bit and feel it into a more narrow point, almost as though it's going through a funnel. And breathe. One more, nice and low there. There we go. Now everybody's going to be up here, even the tenors and the basses in your falsetto. We're all going to be in the exact same pitch, not an octave apart, but up here. Excuse me, you're going to sing up in your head voice, gentlemen. And as you come down, keep your head voice as low as you can. The same for you, sopranos and altos. Resist the urge to go into chest voice. We're going to alternate between an E vowel and an U vowel. So let me demonstrate one more time. And then you'll go, and then E, and then U, etc. Okay? So we'll start here with an E vowel. On your E, remember your E is in a neutral mouth position, as though you're going through an U vowel almost. So think E. And you're breathing in with me. And remember to move as you sing. Don't do neck up singing, whole body singing. Ready and breathe. Ooh. Ooh. Breathe in the vowel E. Stay in your head voice. Ooh. Everybody take one hand, and I want you to do this. Let this be the air. That it's always spinning, always moving. It never stops. Ready and breathe. Ooh. E. E. Ooh. Ooh. Stay in head voice E. One more. Ooh. Ooh. Great. Now we sing. And breathe. Now at home, what I want you to do is you have all my permission to be as sloppy and scoopy as you ever want it to be. All those things that choral directors have told you not to be. So I want you to think, we call it a portamento, which is essentially a glide. I want you to glide in between pitches and let the breath lead you through all of them. So you're going to do like you already had that post-rehearsal glass of wine or bourbon or whatever it may have been. And breathe. Good. And move that way too. Breathe. Bend your feet, your knees. Move your hands as though they're in water. You're in a pool of water. There's resistance. Ready and breathe. Round the lips out. Now we're going to go down a third. We're going to do this again, the exact same thing. I'm going to slowly speed up the tempo. When we speed up the tempo, maintain that slide, glide, that portamento feeling. Don't suddenly get precise on me. Remember, the piano is a percussion instrument. Thank goodness you aren't. You're a wind instrument or a string instrument that can sing legato. So keep the portamento, keep the glide as you sing. Ready and breathe. Hands are in water, breathe. Breathe. Keep that resistance. How's your posture? How are you breathing? Do that one again and breathe. One more. I lied, a few more. Release the jaw, move as you sing. Everybody stand up. Excuse me. Shake your right hand 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Your bum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know the pattern. 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Everybody say A-I-O-U. Stick your tongue out at me, blah, and go, and go. One final thing to get the top of the voice working. We're going to sing. I can't get that low today, but 4 notes per vowel. I'll do it one more time higher so you can actually hear me do it. Keep your mouth in a neutral position as we do this. Release the sound on the top, lots of air. Sing not to the high note, but through the high note, beyond the high note and all the way back down. Ready? Here we go. A 1 and a. Move. Smile with your eyes. One more. Stay loose. And release your jaw, lean your head back. Lean your head forward. Put your hands on the clasp behind your neck. Breathe in. Do that one more time. Breathe in. head and spine in neutral position. Feel like somebody's pulling up on the top of your head. And you're elongated. Your rib cage is wide. Proud chest, heavy shoulders. And go, ah, and release. Ah. Great. Have a seat, everybody. Oh, you don't have to sit, I guess, if you don't want to. So let's take just a little bit of time. I want to do one spot. I want to just spot check a few things, and then we'll get into a lot of singing. If we can, we start with simple gifts. We haven't spent a lot of time on this. And what I'd like to do is jump to the middle section on, for me, it's on page 29. It's when everybody, all four voice parts come in. It's measure 14. I want you to be aware of something, everybody. Measure 15 on the word gained. We have soprano, alto, and bass are all on an A flat together. We need to really be thinking about matching the vowel there. And gained is, again, one of those words that has, we can all say it together, a diphthong. Remember the diphthong, two vowels on one syllable. It's easy. I'm going to sing the tenor line. When true simplicity is gained. To want to go to gain, simplicity is gained, gained. Think gained. Don't worry about the gain. If you keep the tongue down, we won't have any trouble there. So soprano, alto, and bass are all on the same note together. So you need to really be listening to one another in your virtual world and matching the vowel with all the people around you, and virtually that is. The other spot that I want to do is the rhyme of that word, which is on measure 17. Shan't be ashamed, not shamed, but shamed. Long vowel, even though it's a short note value, and that's only an eighth note, you must think that the vowel is very long. Third thing, the word turning. Let's get rid of the R altogether. Everybody, all you have to do is put the tip of your tongue on the back of your bottom teeth. And all you're going to do is quickly, your tongue will go up and touch the roof of your mouth for the t sound, and then it drops right back down on this pitch. Everything, if you can see my mouth, turn, turn, together, turn, turn. So there's height in that sound, turn, turn, and the tongue is down. So when we get to that, for example, altos, to turn, turn will be our delight, by turning, turning we come round. There are a lot of R's, and there's a lot of diphthongs. That whole phrase, starting at measure 18, it's so easy for it to get what I would call chewy, and everything collapses vocally. We want to think of it as turn will be our delight, by turning, turning will come. In fact, everybody, I want you to sing from the downbeat of 19, everybody on an A flat, all intoning it on the same pitch level, just so we get the right rhythm. You're going to sing, be our delight, by turning, turning we come round right, and very relaxed and free. Try that. This is from 19, B, 1 and 2. Be our delight, by turning, turning we come round right. When you sing delight till, just think of one T, not delight till. One T will do the trick. So, Kirsten, could you kindly play for us measure 14, just alto, tenor, bass? I think the sopranos probably know the tune. But just so they hear that once. And about tempo of when true simplicity is gained to bow, about that tempo, if you can count us off.
3 and 4.
Thank you, Kirsten. Kirsten, can you do me a favor and just check if you have, if your original sound is turned on or off? I think you might have your original sound turned off, and that's why we're getting it. The sound comes in and out a bit.
Okay. Let me see.
Try that again. There it
Okay.
is.
1 and 2 and.
Ah, that fixed it. Great, good. So, can we do the same thing? And now alto, tenor, bass, will you make sure you're muted and sing along with Kirsten? I won't conduct because we won't be synced up, but I want you to get the sense of locking into what she's doing for your pitches and rhythm, and also thinking that long vowel to vowel singing that we've been talking about all term. So right there at measure 14, if you can count us off again, give us pitches and then count off.
1 and 2 and.
Thank you. And if everybody notices the half bar of 21, come round right, it's in a unison or octave A flat, same note, same vowel, everything. So, ah, stand that on. Don't put the T on until the very last minute, the second beat of measure 23. And you don't put on the diphthong until you put on the T. So, let me think. Tenor, sing, come round right. Right as I put the T on, that's when I let the back of my tongue come up to make the diphthong. But otherwise, we stay on that vowel. Good. Top of the last page, which is measure 30. Just by way of reminder, this is one of those fermatas that is the cutoff of the fermata is the pickup, is the preparation for your next entrance. So that means soprano altos. You'll sing, plays just right, 'twill be. Does that make sense? Place just right, 'twill be. Do that with me, singing place just right, soprano alto. Well, everybody actually, because tenor bass you've got to cut off at the same time. So place, and it goes right on it, place, one, and sing, place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight. And the same thing, you stay on that as long as possible. Great. We're going to leave that. I think everything else. Oh, sorry, there is one more thing. Top of page 29, soprano alto, measure 9. The exact same thing, just by way of reminder. 'Twill be in the valley. Same idea. Stay on the ah vowel. The cutoff is the preparation for your next entrance. All right, I'm going to leave that. Can we now jump to Shall We Gather at the River? I'd like to take a look, please. It's on your page 82. It's on Yes, We'll Gather by the River. Soprano alto. I want you to do that once. Just starting on a ya on the Y consonant or semi-vowel is always challenging because it's really, you're starting on an E. The Y is really a vowel of an E. And we don't want it to spread too much. Yeah, and it goes wide, right? Yeah, yeah. So soprano alto, just sing your first pitch with that in mind. Ready and breathe. So alto, soprano, sing that and breathe. Yes. Do one just on the Y and do E, almost through an U position, and breathe. Great. Tenors do the same thing. It's that note. And this time I want everybody to bring a, you're going to do it all together. Let me see, when the basses come in, no, you get to sing by, which is good. So tenor, alto, soprano, just on an eval. And everybody, I want you to lift your elbows as you sing this. Mouth is tall, elbows are lifted. And breathe. Great. Now this time you're going to go and keep the lips rounded. Together and breathe. Yes. Good. Notice it is indeed piano. And stay on the vowel as long as possible. Throughout this piece, we have this dotted rhythm, right? I mean, even from the very beginning. Shall we gather by the river? I would love it if this rhythm felt not so much, shall we gather by the river? I didn't want it to feel crisp. It should feel flowing like a river, a little like a lazy river. Shall we gather by the... So it never feels tight or precise, but smooth and flowing throughout. What that means is that often if you have two notes for a vowel, for example, on yes, we'll gather, where that spot we were just looking at, on the word wheel, so altos, yes, we'll, the last consonant of wheel has to be at the very last second. Yes, we'll gather by. You need to delay your consonants so that we can maintain the sense of legato. Could we do that section once? Kirsten, we're going to make you work today. It's your last Tuesday. You might have thought you were going to be let off the hook, but I'm going to make you. So Ken is just easier than trying to queue up one of the choral tracks to isolate these things. Could you play it, please, Kirsten? This is on our page 82, the bottom system, last measure, where the soprano and alto come in on yes, and then the tenors do, and then the next page, the basses sing by the river. Can you play those parts? And everybody, I want you to just sing along so that you can work those concepts of lazy legato, dotted rhythm, neutral, tall vowels, and making sure there's a sense of direction while being lazy. Go ahead and count us off, please, Kirsten.
3, 4.
Thank you, Kirsten. Two things to point out. River, river, get rid of the R altogether. The word that, the vowel to consonant ratio, right, is 3, or consonant to vowel ratio is 3 to 1. So when you sing that, elongate the vowel. It's easy to want to sing river that flows, but river that flows, that flows. Again, let it flow. The word thrown, stay on the vowel. We've talked about this in the past, that when we have a a word that ends in a voiced consonant, which is an N, M, Z, any consonant you can sing, our instinct is to go to it because we can sing it, but we need to do the opposite, and that is to elongate the vowel. So, for example, altos, flows by the throne of, and I'd put the N sort of on the word of, is the best way to think of it. Also, the word of, think of, not is one of the least attractive American vowels that we can ever sing. Instead. Throne of God. And then it sets you up for God because it's the exact same vowel that you had just sang. Next big entrance, which is on the bottom of page 84, bases. Sing this with me once, and that I find to be a slightly misleading marking that he gives you of articulation. He gives you an accent and a tenuto marking. And in a way, they almost cancel each other out, right? Because accent necessitates decay. It would be ba, and you have to back off. The tenuto means to elongate and sustain. And these are ideas that are in conflict with one another. I think the way I approach this is instead is think of it as bell tones. So there is a little decay, but then it sustains. So soon will try that. Sing that with me, basses. So think of these as big church bells, not the little hand bells, but big ones. Okay. 2, breathe, basses. Soon will reach the breath, shining river. And then soon our happiness will quiver with the melody for peace. And we don't breathe after quiver, right into that piano. And while that is happening, soprano and tenor, again, I want you to think bells, but it's smaller bells, right? The basses have the big ones, and then the soprano and the tenors are doing, they're still bell-like. Soon we'll reach the shining river. Think buoyant. Can you sing that once? And Kirsten, do you mind just at the bottom of page 84 playing the soprano and the tenor line? And let's have that bell tone feeling as you sing soprano and tenor. Breathe in the oo vowel.
3, 4.
Great. And then at that point, we'd go molto legato. All the while, the altos are singing the most sort of syrupy, honey-like legato possible on the tune. So that we have the big bells and the basses, the smaller bells and the soprano and tenor, and in relief is soon will reach the shining, and it almost needs to feel, expansive, Americana. Can you sing that, altos? 1, 2, breathe, and soon we'll reach the shining river. Soon our pilgrimage will cease. And then the sopranos take over the melody. Just wanted to give us a little bit of shaping of this piece. The final thing I will say is that everybody, if you look the bottom of page 86, beautiful I find one of the most difficult words in English to sing because we don't know if we're going to sing beautiful and the T is going to be a D, beautiful, or is it going to be a T, beautiful? And I would argue that the answer is yes. It's both. And what I mean by that is it's a light T that doesn't interrupt the legato line. So I'm going to sing the tenor line once. The beautiful. So you still sing the T, but you have to sing through it. so that we're not stopping the T. It would be, we could do a beautiful, and it stops, or we could sing beauty, and that's a D. So it's somewhere in between. So if everybody can just be cognizant of that when you get to the beautiful, long, 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 long line. Great. I'm going to leave that for now too, so I can stay on schedule. The final piece I want us to get to is lullaby, and just talk through a few things. We'll take a deep breath, and then we will see how much of this we can do. It's been a while since we've done this piece. And I want everybody right now, you're going to sing just the melody from the beginning as though you were a soprano. And I want everybody to sit up tall. We haven't sung in a bit. Sit up nice and tall. You can even stand. And if you're seated, I want you to feel like your bum is off the seat so that your glutes and your abdominals are engaged. So I'm going to sing with you. One of the things that I've talked a lot about this term especially is this idea of vowel to vowel singing and lining up your vowels so that everything is legato. So we're going to just do a quick little exercise to remind you what that's like. I want you to sing this once, everybody, on just the vowels, no consonants. So you have to also be thinking. And you're going to sing thy, and I want you to simply be aware of the similarities and how little you actually have to change vowels and how they are connected to one another. So, right on the opening, everybody singing the tune. Ready? I'm going to give you one and you're breathing. Ready? And breathe. Etc. I lost my page there for a second. Yes, I did the right note. Good. So, with that in mind, now the exact same thing on the text, thinking about vowel to vowel legato singing. Ready? Sitting up tall. You're breathing, relaxing the jaw, neutral position always with the mouth. Connect, connect, connect. Ready? And breathe. The stars are twinkling in the skies, the earth is lost in slumbers deep. So hush, my sweet, and close thine eyes, and let me lull thy soul to sleep. Round mouth on sleep. Great. We look ahead in this piece. Obviously, it repeats the same melody. And then look at page 6, measure 33. We all come in D major. Just to be ready for that on a hum. Now, apropos of what we talked about in the warm-up, what is a hum? It's an ah with lips. So when you want me to practice this entrance, alto, tenor, bass, sorry, I want you to do it once on an ah vowel. You're going to sing ah, and when I cue it, you're going to go and don't change anything internally, just the lips come down. So here we are, alto, tenor, bass, sing ah, and move your hand like this. So you feel that air spinning. So often on a hum, we stop the sound. And if we stop it, it goes right up into the nose and it becomes nasal. We want to feel that cavern of space in the back always. Gentlemen, you get to sing your melody in unison, right? The moon is. Again, think warm, rich, lots and lots of vowel. Soprano, alto, be ready for your entrance at measure 58 on your oo. Breathe in the oo vowel. Ooh. And I want you to write in your music hootie. I want you to think hootie. a round hooty sound. And even as it gets higher, you want to think more space and even hootier. At measure, we're going to jump ahead to after there's this little interlude. I'm looking now at page 12, where the sopranos sing alone. And notice it is slightly slower. It says this is measure 90 on page 12. And it changes, right? This is the one where we get to, the melody goes down. So there is a little one asleep that does not hear his mother's song. So the urge will want to be to go into chest voice on that low note. I urge you to resist it, just like in the vocalese when I had you go as low as you could and not go into chest. So his mother's song. So it should feel a little bit more hollow and not song. Altos, I know it will be a challenge, but I'm sure you can do it. Not to go into chest voice. You'll have other opportunities, especially in the Negro Speaks where we want a lot of chest voice. Good. I'm going to leave it at that. And I think the end of it will take care of itself because we'll be sort of in full force and excited. So what I want to do now, unless there are any questions, here's my thought. It is now 8:16. If we run through all of the music we've worked on this term, with the exception of Little Horses, that's just under 40 minutes of music, and that will take us to about 8:55 or so. It seems to me a fitting way for us to just sort of tear through everything. So unless I see any bold opposition in the chat box, then I will dive in. But we need to do one thing first, and that is to unmute ourselves. Everybody Rob, can you unmute us all?
You can all unmute ourselves.
All right, is everybody unmuted?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So, Kirsten, I'm putting you on the spot. There's a tune I need you to play that I think you know. Starts on a 7 chord, and then the first word after that is happy. And Rob, is it possible? I'm putting you on the spot as well. Could you spotlight our dear Penny Lazarus? And can you give us a nice, juicy, schmaltzy 7 chord, and let's all sing happy birthday to Penny loudly and boldly, completely out of sync. You need to plug your ears. And
Happy birthday to you.
happy
Happy
birthday to
you.
happy
Happy birthday to
Oh boy.
We will make it up to you when we can all be together and sing it properly. All in sync.
Ryan, I'm muting
And thank
everybody,
you
so
for
unmute yourself.
Rebecca, who tipped
I don't know.
her.
I
All right, can everybody hear me? Great. Happy birthday, Penny. And thank you. It actually gives me an opportunity to just thank Penny for everything she's done this term with handling the chats and as a section leader and leading the one session with Tara. And she also sent me these copious notes about the session. So thank you so much, Penny. Really, we're blessed to have you with us and guiding us along the way. And happy birthday. So here's the order that I'd like to do everything in our mini concert from the living room. I'd like us to start. I'll give you actually what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy it right now and I'm going to throw it in the chat box so that everybody can see it. Let me just see. How do I know there's a way to, there we go. Everyone in the meeting. There you are.
Wow.
There's the order. The asterisk next to "We Shall Walk" and "Ave Verum" was "if we have time," and I think we will. So let's dive in, and then at the end, before we do toward the unknown region, I'll have a few comments to share. But let me get everything queued up for our choral tracks or recordings that I've got planned to use, and we will dive in. So take a moment, get your music in order. Give me a moment here. Make sure my stuff is in order. I'm gonna, well, no, I'll sit tall. I'll make sure that my gesture you can see. Is that good for everyone if I'm here? If you decide to watch, my one of my mentors and uh, Pulitzer Prize winning composer John Harbison, dear friend and a huge mentor to me, been so incredibly supportive. He, in a rehearsal, once said to the choir, "If it confuses you to watch, don't." So any conductor, like, right? We're used to conductor said, "Watch, eyes up," but he said, "If it confuses you to watch, don't." He also, in one rehearsal, asked the choir. He said, "All right, I want you to do that again without me conducting. I'm just going to listen." And he started us, and he walked away. And we got through this whole big Schutz motet. It was like about a 5-minute motet. He didn't conduct a single beat of it. And he walks back up, and there's silence, and he nods, and he says, "As I expected, you remove the irritant, and everything gets better." This wonderful sense of humility he had about, and the point was that he recognized that he was in the way, and what we needed was to listen to each other breathe, listen to each other's vowels, listen to and feed off each other's energy more than we needed the visual distraction of him. And I honestly think a lot of times that is the case with the choir. So I will, once we're back together, challenge you all to sing without the bald man waving in front of you and listening more than watching. But for today, if you can, sit up tall, hold your music up, and follow along as best you can. For my Spirit Sang All Day, we're going to use the recording that I've used in the past, which has things slightly more expansive, gives you more time to breathe and to adjust. The only thing I'll say is have fun. And at the end of this, feel a sense of accomplishment of how much we have indeed done, even in these odd times. So here we are. Now, know that the minute I hit play, it's going to start. So I'm going to give you your opening pitches. My spirit sang all day. Now it begins, okay? Are we ready?
My spirit sang all day.
Pianissimo?
And I
go to, is it at the river, I believe I said? Shall we gather at the river? Yes. And make sure, everyone, that you are indeed muted. I heard some lovely voices, but let's make sure we're muted so that we are not distracted in any way. So shall we gather at the river? And this will indeed be the choral tracks version that you're about to hear. I get myself queued up and we're off. Breathe. Remember, lazy river basins. Remember the yeah, breathing? Bass. Use this time to check your posture. It's okay to move while you sing, remember? Use your whole body. You're breathing. Bell tones. Basses. Crescendoing. Piano. Well, they held on a little longer than I did. All right, and we're moving right along. Get back to my order here. Oh, simple gifts. I'm actually going to play a recording that's a slightly slower than the choral tracks one, and it's a high school choir singing it. And there's the simplicity and the simpleness of approach and earnestness of sound, I think, is quite charming. There are some tuning issues and things that happen in a high school choir, but I want you all to sing along with that because I feel like it's about as sincere as it can get. So this is Simple Gifts. diphthongs, long vowels. I hope so. Great. And we move on. Lullaby. It's been some time since we've sung this. Let me get to my spot here. Straight through from the top, and this is indeed with the choral tracks balanced voices.
The stars are twinkling in the skies. The earth is lost in slumbers deep. So hush, my sweet, and close thine eyes, and let me lull thy soul to sleep.
Feel it when everything's in motion?
Compose thy dimpled hands to rest, and like a little birdling lie, secure within thy cozy nest, upon my loving mother breast, and slumber too, my lullaby. So hush up, hush my sweet, and close thine eyes, and slumber to my lullaby. So hush up, hush up.
Feel elbows out. We're breathing, gentlemen. Sitting up tall.
The moon is singing to the star, the little sunlight sings.
Sit up tall, gentlemen. Move your bodies as you sing.
Father, Son is straight afar, as baby star is straying too, and so the loving mother
Who's he?
sings to the little stars on high, and as she sings, her gentle tone is good to me, and thus I croon for thee, my sweet,
Alto. I don't see people moving enough. Use your whole body to sing.
There is a little one asleep that does not hear his mother's song, but angel watches as I weep around his grave the nighttime long, and as I sing my sweet to you.
Bass. Tenor. Alto. Oops, sorry, I jumped ahead of myself there. Great. Now, is everybody, Rob, I'm sorry, Phil just wrote and said that it's hard to hear me. Can you guys hear me speaking okay? And are you hearing the choral tracks okay? Okay. Rob, Phil, let me know if there's anything I need to adjust in my microphone. In the meantime, we will move on in the interest of time to the Negro Speaks. All right, I do believe, in the interest of time, I'm going to trim this, and we're going to skip "We Shall Walk" and "Ave Verum." That way we can get through, which we did last week, so we can get through "How Can I Keep from Singing" and "Toward the Unknown Region." So let's jump ahead to "How Can I Keep from Singing." This is actually, Phil, I'm wondering, tell me if I can't put you on the spot here, but the recording that you played in the little prelude music is correct and has a little bit more room and suppleness than the choral tracks one. Is it possible for you to play that for us right now?
Yes, I can do that.
That would be fantastic. Thank you. Just let us know when you, well, they'll catch it. They'll jump on. I want to remind everybody, how can I keep from singing legato, 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 vowels. Whenever you're ready, Phil. And thank you. Muted. Hello. look, and you even got applause. Thank you so much, Phil. I appreciate that, especially for being put on the spot like that. Thank you. So before we gonna just do all of the Von Williams, and it's gonna take us a little over time. But I want to say a huge thank you to everybody, the board for the incredible support during these online sessions. Phil, I don't know what we would have done without you. Your technical expertise and impeccable planning down to the second and support is just been incredibly valuable and immensely appreciated. And all of you singers, the talk about an unknown region. This was it, and not the way any new music director wants to start. And you have all been so incredibly gracious and willing to dive in. And when I'm screaming at you to move more and having you do crazy warm-ups, and you're right there with me. I mean, as far as I can tell. In fact, Phil, is it possible to stop your screen share so I can see everybody's faces right now? Oh, there we are. Great. Thank you. And not my own face. There. Get me out of that. I don't know about you all. If you do a lot of Zooms, I'm so tired of looking at myself. If I never have to see myself again, that'd be great. But I just thank you all for making this as pleasurable as it could be. And I just mean the volume that we've actually been able to go through, you can see just in the repertoire that we've gone through today, speaks a lot to what is possible. And to me is just is a teaser for what we can do once we're together. I will have to, not wear pajama bottoms in rehearsal next year, which is really disappointing. Um, and I want to say thank you to Kirsten, who we've thrown into the fire. Yes, you can applaud her. Thank you for all your support and being put on the spot often at the last minute to play something. And I look forward to us collaborating in person and all the gifts that you bring to the Newburyport Choral Society. I'm sure everybody here is eager to see you as well. So I'll say more at the annual meeting, which I hope everybody comes to. Make sure you fill out your survey. Thank you for your generosity and your support. And let's tell the conductor to stop talking and let's sing. So let's end with Toward the Unknown Region. And then after we're done with that, feel free to unmute yourself and say farewell and talk and whatever the case may be. So this is going to be a recording, and I'm going to just go ahead and play the whole thing. We're not going to skip around. You're going to enjoy all the interludes. It's just about 11 minutes, about 12 minutes. Here we are. You can stand, you can move. You're fully engaged. Jesus, here we go. Alto soprano. Tenor. Tenor bass. One measure, 1, 2, 3. Thank you all. I look forward to seeing you at the annual meeting. Have a fantastic summer, and I look forward to hearing you all in person soon, I hope. You can unmute yourselves and say farewell to everybody. Thank you so much, the board and everyone else.
Thanks,
Bye.
Ryan.
Bye, everyone.
Ryan.
Hey, all. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Happy summer.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Liz.